74 today in Portland. Beautiful day. Statewide, 79 in Wiscasset, 76 in Bangor, and 80 in Berlin. One of the cooler spots in the morning, but recovered to a warm temperature in the afternoon. A lot of sunshine. We do have some high, thin clouds down across southern Maine. That's the very edge of a larger storm system to our south, which actually has some decent rain with it down across Virginia and into the mid-Atlantic, but it's very small in its size, and it's not going to get into Maine. It's going to pass to our south and east, but some of the clouds will get in here, and an isolated shower maybe on Wednesday night and into early Thursday. Until then, clouds increase tonight. Temperatures are in the 50s with some 40s out there too. Tomorrow is a cloudier day, certainly, when compared to the last few days. I don't think it's quite as cloudy as this model is depicting. A lot of this will be high cloudiness and a few mid-level clouds in there too. Temperatures about 70 along the coast, about 75 inland. And then there's an isolated shower chance Wednesday night and Thursday. It's not much of that around though. You can see the storm passing to our south, but there's your kind of isolated shower chance on Thursday morning. I'd say 95% of the state is likely to stay dry Wednesday and Thursday. And then we clear out Thursday midday into the afternoon, quick upper 70s to around 80. Nice afternoon there, and then we're cooler on Friday as the secondary cold front comes through and resets our dew points and pushes temperatures down a bit too on Friday with a high temperature around 70. So there's that storm missing us. Again, an outside chance of a shower, and then that secondary front comes through behind it. The timing of this is uncanny because this is just what happened last week. Last week, we had a storm miss to our south and east on Wednesday, give us some clouds, very isolated shower. Then Thursday was warm, and a front came through Thursday afternoon and cooled us back down for Friday. So we're following the same exact pattern. High pressure builds in over the weekend. I'll tell you this, it looks nice this weekend, but it is the most fallish weekend we've had so far. High temperatures both days, but especially Saturday, in the 60s. Overnight lows in a lot of spots in the 30s. Even along the coastline, it will be close. We could be in the upper 30s, right around 40 here Saturday morning, and there's a lot of spots that will be in the 30s. And there's a chance that Sunday will be a degree or two cooler. So if you extrapolate that, you could see us getting to the upper 30s along the coastline. I believe it would be the first 30s along the coast this season. I'm pretty sure it is. And then inland will be 32, 33 degrees. So it will be chilly to start. High temperatures only in the 60s, meaning a lot of the day is spent in the 50s. What we don't have is any real rain. So we run the model through basically this time next week. And you're seeing a couple of 0.1s, but those are maybes. That's that isolated shower chance Wednesday night, Thursday. If you take that away, you've got all zeros going forward. Another drought monitor on Thursday. That'll count up to today. So obviously we haven't had any real rain in there. A lot of sunshine, temperatures about 70s. We could get into the 80s mid next week, depending on which model. Now keep in mind, 81 or 82 doesn't sound like a lot, right? But that's like, if it happens next week, it's going to be 12 degrees above average. I mean, our highs are quickly falling, as we all know. So if we get to 80, it becomes more and more of an anomaly. Nice weekend, though, but just be aware, it will be on the cool side for a good part of the day.
So funny, because anomaly doesn't mean it doesn't happen every year, because it feels like we always get a couple of days that kind of pop the heat back in.
It takes a while for our mind, too, to reset to the fact that, 80 is way above average.
Correct.
Because summer just happened in our mind. But it's like, no, 80 is kind of getting harder and harder to get to.
We're all holding on to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Keith.